two, one.
Hi everyone, this is Victoria Woelders, and here is another Empathy Tales podcast episode. We're on season 2, and season 2 is all about the published books that are now available on Amazon. You can get softcover or hardcover, and you can check those out on your local Amazon website. Well, I am here to tell you one of my favorite stories. It's called The Emerald Butterfly. Super excited to tell you this. I've kind of worked with it. A few people have edited it, and we have kind of polished it off to have it in print now. So this story is a beautiful story about how there are these magical butterflies that keep breaking and cracking, and how a woman tries to heal them, and the journey of someone observing the process of these broken butterflies turning into something new. So I hope you enjoy the story. If you want to learn more about me, feel free to check my information out at woeldersworld.wordpress.com. I'm no longer at mykidslocker.com, but you can check me out at woeldersworld.wordpress.com or on any other social media outlets, mostly. I'm on most of them. And with that being said, we are now going to launch into this beautiful story called The Emerald Butterfly. If you are comfortable, then I will begin. Emerald Butterfly. Story told Saturday, June 7th, 2018. I welcome all butterflies into my heart because that feeling is a constant reminder of how alive and full of life I truly am. Karen A. Bakaran. Once upon a time, there was an old woman who lived on a hill in the land of the Southern Eagle. This hill was just past the magical forest in the Oak and Eagle Kingdom. There was a girl who lived down the hill. One day, this girl wandered up the hill and saw this woman walking out of her cottage. She was holding a wooden box. She carefully sat in her rocking chair on her porch and placed the box on her lap. As she sat on the porch, the woman opened this box, and out flew these beautiful butterflies that flew around her. They flew away a little bit, yet came back to her porch and began to circle her head. These butterflies were special. This girl had never seen anything like this before. There was a sapphire butterfly, a ruby butterfly, an opal butterfly, a jade butterfly, and an emerald butterfly. As the young girl sat there, she saw this amazing event. Mesmerized by the butterflies, she would always come back at the same time each day. She would sit and watch this unique event. Then one day, when the girl was watching the sapphire butterfly, it flew up and bumped into a tree. The butterfly fell to the ground and shattered. The young girl cried from a distance, because she had come to love this beautiful sapphire butterfly. The old woman picked up the broken pieces. She gently brought it into the house. She then returned and she put the other butterflies back in the box. The girl, devastated by the shattered sapphire butterfly, chose to leave and return home for the day. Although sad, she decided to go back the next day. As she watched the old woman come out of her home, the woman opened her wooden box once again. The young girl watched. She saw the ruby butterfly, the diamond butterfly, the jade butterfly, and the emerald butterfly fly into the air. The sapphire butterfly was not flying in the air. As she looked carefully, she noticed the sapphire butterfly was on her shoulder all the time. The sapphire butterfly was broken. It sat on the woman's shoulder. It didn't look as beautiful as the others. As the woman sat there, she began to whisper to the sapphire butterfly, and she began to cry. As she cried, the tears fell on the butterfly, and it grew brighter with each tear and with each whisper. The woman leaned over and began to take other things out of the box. There was a piece of porcelain that looked like part of a tea set. There was the wedding ring that she held. She pressed them to the butterfly. The wings that were once broken now were melted together with other pieces to make it whole again. There was a piece of dirt that she took from the path and pressed it to the butterfly. It was healed because of the gifts she had given the butterfly. The butterfly began to fly more, and each day got stronger. It was glorious. It was the most beautiful butterfly of all because of its uniqueness. The sapphire butterfly left, and the old woman smiled. Over time, each of the butterflies experienced this, and every time the woman would bring out odds and ends and press them into the butterfly. Every time the broken butterflies would just fly away. The young girl got angry. She was angry that these beautiful butterflies were careless to break. Her anger continued when she saw the old woman putting old pieces to rebuild them so they could leave her. The butterflies looked perfect at first, then broken, and then damaged when they left her home. The girl was so angry at this woman for just letting them go and not keeping them safe. How could she let them go into a world being so broken? She whispered to herself. As each of the butterflies left, the last butterfly remained. It was the emerald butterfly. As the young girl watched the emerald butterfly fly too high, it then hit the post on the old woman's porch. The emerald butterfly fell to the ground, completely shattered, more than the other butterflies. The little girl began to cry and ran to the old woman. She ran out of the magical forest, saying, "You just cannot keep doing this to your perfect butterflies." The old woman smiled. "Oh, child, I know you love these butterflies, but they were never mine to begin with." The girl bent down and picked up the pieces of the emerald butterfly. She was crying, and tears fell into the broken pieces. As the little girl lifted the brokenness to the woman, the old woman smiled. "Let me teach you," said the woman. She leaned over and gently guided the girl so her tears would fall onto the pieces. Slowly the butterfly came together. The old woman said, "This is your greatest hope, little girl. What is your greatest hope, little girl? It is to love always." Then the old woman said, "Whisper it into the broken pieces." The girl leaned down, and her words brought healing to the shards of the green gem that were shattered. The old woman continued to guide the child to tell the pieces of her favorite memories and describe the love she felt when she felt the most loved. The emerald butterfly began to gain strength. The girl took off her ring she had received from her mother and put it on the emerald butterfly. The girl took the bracelet that was given to her by her grandfather. All these pieces created a new, beautiful, broken emerald butterfly. The old woman continued, "Now, it is time to let our friend go." The young girl said, "No, not me. I want to keep it." The old woman said, "You created something beautiful, and now it's time to share it with the world." With tears in her eyes, she understood because she had seen the old woman let go of the other butterflies. Holding her arms out and shaking, the girl gently let the broken emerald butterfly grace her arms. She raised her arms to the sky, and the wondrous emerald butterfly flew away. It soared high into the sky. The girl embraced the old woman and cried. The old woman responded by saying, "You know that these butterflies could never fly high without the gifts of humanness. They need to be broken from their original form for them to become a magical butterfly, created for them to live a full life. They are alive because of our stories. You loved, you cared, I loved, I cared. Their brokenness and your empathy will be a sign of their freedom. I have cried many tears, and now you have cried tears. Maybe this emerald butterfly may help you to remember that life is truly the life of this broken emerald butterfly. This butterfly is more than what it first was. The beauty of creation is the essence of beauty through brokenness. The girl walked back to her home after her magical time with this old woman. As she turned the corner of the path, she saw something gleaming in her bedroom window. It was the emerald butterfly. As she got closer, she saw a wooden box at her door. She opened the wooden box, and there were other gem butterflies. There was a moonstone butterfly, a garnet butterfly, a topaz butterfly, and a pearl butterfly. But her favorite was the diamond butterfly. She closed the wooden box and looked up to see the broken, beautiful emerald butterfly gliding into the sky and flying away. She smiled at the beauty of the emerald butterfly in flight. She learned that empathy, kindness, and compassion can only truly be fulfilled when you are willing to accept that brokenness can be beautiful. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to the emerald butterfly story. I hope that you have learned something today about the process of what beautiful really is and what brokenness is. And sometimes brokenness and beauty can be the same thing. I have to be honest with you. This is one of my favorite empathy tale stories out of all the ones that I've created. And I hope that you can come away today knowing that you've learned something new and that perhaps that you can go away and create compassion one story at a time in your own life. Well, I'm going to sign off now. Feel free to reach out to me, Victoria Woelders, on woeldersworld.wordpress.com or on social media outlets. But until next time, remember to create compassion one story at a time.